Hi, Scorpio. This is your reading for January going into February of 2024. But really, anytime you find it, and if you're cross-watching, you're cross-watching. It's also great for eighth house placements and Mars ruled chart. So if you're an Aries rising, sometimes it can also resonate. Maybe you just like my shenanigans and you're here and you're listening. And in that case, welcome. Woo. Already, Scorpio, you know what it is. So you guys have the new moon's coming tomorrow. Today we had Mars and the moon in Capricorn, which sextiles your placements in a conjunction. We also have the collective MC and Neptune direct in a conjunction, which is going to be trining the later Scorpio placements. And obviously you have Jupiter and Uranus. Uranus is at 19 degrees in retrograde right now. So anything that you have around 19 degrees, you have that Uranus in retrograde. Opposing and the lower degree signs, you guys have Jupiter opposing. Can feel kind of like up and down with those two kind of being on the other side of your seesaw. Might have felt a little spicy today too, Scorpios. Especially if you're watching this on or around January 10th, which is when I'm recording it. Interesting. Chariot at the bottom of the deck, and that was the lead card for Cancer. So you may want to watch the Cancer video when you're done with this. Sometimes that happens. So first thing we have is the Ten of Wands. I'm not surprised. I keep saying this for Scorpio, but y'all just went through that nodal axis, the eclipses. There's been a lot of changes. That Venus in retrograde that happened over the summer. I'm being shown the way I get shown. That would have been squaring. That would have been squaring your sign. Just go look in the house that you have Leo in. And there's can be some changes there. And in what you value, who you value, and who values you, and what's been obvious, where you thought you were valued and you weren't, or what you thought was valuable and it wasn't. When we see the Ten of Wands, there's a burden that's no longer yours to carry. The reason that I'm feeling with everything else that your sign placements have been going through for the last 2 years, that Leo and Venus really pulling up in that square, which it feels like a challenge, is that if we look here, if we look here, this is a very long road that she's at the end of. This is about a burden and something you once felt passionate about, understanding that you took it on. You wanted to carry it, right? You made the more passionate choice at one point, probably, some years back. You took on something that was a a labor of passion, and you had ups and downs and successes, and at times it felt like it was destined, and all of the passion and all of it was worth it, and if there was a will, there's a way. um you know if you wanted it bad enough, you would find a solution, you would fight for it. All of those passionate, wand, fiery themes. And while Scorpio is a water sign, they are the fire of water. Fight me. Fight me. I'm not wrong. Got Mars ruling. At some point, you look back on that long, long journey and you thought, I just kept taking on these like labors of passion until now I'm carrying stuff. Should not be carrying. It's not fun anymore. Don't feel passionate about it. And my enthusiasm to fight for things sometimes made you take stuff on for people that maybe wouldn't have fought for you back. And it's time to give it all up. The reason that I like the 10 of Wands coming out in the upright, because in the reverse, it would mean it's time and you're not ready to you are ready to give it up. A lot of times in the last couple of months, I want to say 6 months, 9 months, I would get the 10 of Wands or the 10 of Swords for Scorpio, but it would be in reverse. Like you kind of know, but you're not ready. The reason I know that you took on stuff that wasn't fair, and you did it out of sense of fight and passion, and Scorpio, the idea that they have to fight for anything they want is like breathing, right? So, but at this point, you're probably also done with stuff that isn't fair. People using you as a scapegoat. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is going to mean some things to some people and another thing to other people. You'll know which one of these people you are. When we have the Knight of Pentacles, let me show you him in the upright. When we have the Knight of Pentacles, and I'm holding the card here because if I go away, then everything goes away. So I have to hold it here so you can see the card. It's very important that everything that they build, they bring with them. The difference between the Knight of Pentacles and the other knights is that those other knights are riding through town for, a good time, or to drop something, or it is that is not an energy that is matured enough, that is looking at the commitment of things. They're just looking to like run through. The Knight of Pentacles is coming with all of his bags, all of his belongings, all of his hard-earned stuff, because he's going to take his time, and it's genderless. They're going to take their time because they're not just here for a good time. They're here for a long time. But it's painfully slow. I often call this the geriatric horse, the old nag, that the King of Pentacles is coming on. It can be frustrating. Again, there was a lot about frustration in Cancer's reading too. But anyway, so when it's in reverse, it's at a dead stop. It's either at a dead stop or it's off the slow mode. So for some of you, this is like, we're at a dead stop. Scorpio, you may not be making any decisions right now, because until you claim what's yours again, because you have the power to turn any of these cards upside down if you want. So this Justice is actually in reverse. I love this Justice card because its two sides are so, this kind of looks like it's not in reverse. There I go. But we can turn this so that justice is being served again, but that justice is coming with you saying, go ahead, give me what you got. Like, I'm ready. This justice might come with having to stand up for yourself and not care what anybody else has to say and be ready for them with your wisdom, your intelligence, and your F shame. Scorpios, you all got to learn to not let shame hold you. Because it's you're ready. Bags are packed out of whatever the situation is. Doesn't mean you're actually like leaving somebody. Doesn't mean you're moving, but out of this emotional, mental, and spiritual and energetic hold, you're on your way out. Things have been unfair for far too long. Now, if you're at a dead stop, it may be because wherever you want to go, you don't want to go until this is turned up right. You're going someplace. You're leaving someplace. Where are you going? So either this has been so slow that you're like, we're off slow mode. And now we're at the end and I can't wait to start the new chapter. Or you're at a dead stop because you don't want to get yourself back in the same situation. There's like an oscillation between enthusiasm and I don't want to jump from the pan into the fire, is what I'm hearing. And another card of, we have these Two of Wands. Feels like we're unable to make a decision. We have this is so interesting. Please go watch the Cancer reading. We have the VW bus here. We have the globe. I don't think you want to do this again anytime soon. Certainly don't want to be in this position again anytime soon. I think it's more likely you're pausing at a dead stop because you're not making uninformed decisions. And again, when we're looking at the 10 of Wands, we're looking at you got to the 10 by running through all the other wand sign. Including what did you choose last time? I feel like this is a full cycle, right? I said you had to decide. You had two choices. You probably made a decision. I don't know that you feel like, if your decision led you here, then you might be having a little struggle with trust in yourself. Let's clarify this. Clarify. Let's clarify. Let's clarify the justice in reverse. Yeah. I think that there's probably been a lot of, I love this for you, by the way. This is the 4 a.m. sleepless nights, insomnia, worry. I think you're done. It's been I still feel like there's some part of like shame or what somebody else will say if you leave this burden that you took on, if you leave it. It's a lot of swords, it's a lot of words, it's a lot of daggers, it's a lot of, and the thoughts around the impending punishment you will be given, but you've been being punished. I think you've been punishing each other, if I'm being honest. Let's clarify Two Wands in reverse. Is that like, that lower octave of Pluto and fear? Because, don't forget when you made the decision here, when you were making the decision here, when you were taking on the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands, when you're making those decisions, you weren't you now. You were a less healed, less informed version of you. I'm not wrong. All right. I just saw the Four of Wands. At some point, I'm sure you chose that because you thought it was your Four of Wands. You thought it was your Six of Wands, right? And the next thing you know, you're defending it. Okay. We have to remember when we're looking at the tens, we're looking at the whole. Well, Scorpio, you just showed up in your own reading. These two popped out together, like together. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse and the Death card in reverse on this Two of Wands in reverse. You're not making a decision because it's possible you want to resurrect something that you are completely out of communication with now. Ain't nothing going on by the end. You don't know how to start the conversation, possibly. You don't know if a conversation will even be able to be had. And you don't want to be back here. You don't want to be back here. Let's see when all of this like loosens up. Let's see when all of this loosens up. Don't forget, as Uranus moves opposing your placements, Jupiter's going to come in. So things will get shooken up and then you'll have opportunities to plant and to plan in the newer landscape that the quake of Uranus changed. Okay. All wands cards. Man, almost every one of these wands cards have come out. All right. So if we're looking at timing then, with the Nine of Wands, interestingly enough, this is Sag time, right? It came out, oh, I have these upside down. It came out in reverse. So this could be Gemini season. And this gorgeous Six of Wands would be Leo season. So somewhere between June and July, if that has any meaning for you, you could be waiting, you know, this also, if you have kids, this could be you waiting to the end of the school year for something. I don't know what it is, but that's when this all might loosen up for you. But you have, you know, Jupiter's going to run through those placements where you once had Uranus, and yes, they're going to make a little conjunction in end of March. That's not going to be maybe fun for the whole collective, but you've already had Uranus just hitting that. So Uranus with Jupiter means big expansion, big opportunities with whatever the shakeups are. To get that justice for yourself, Scorpio, you're going to have to you're just going to have to you're going to have to really make your bed with how other people may try to ever shame you, and don't accept it. Don't accept it. Scorpios are my favorite people in my life to sit in the dark without judgment and just let the dark be dark. Don't try to like smile and whistle through it and say it'll be okay. When we don't process, we shove things down. Two things happen when we shove things down. We make ourselves sick, or we look for a way to self-medicate and redirect that. Neither of those are good. And a Scorpio will sit there and let you vent, and they won't judge you. They won't judge you. They might not trust you enough to put their stuff on the table too, but that is, please go appreciate the Scorpio. And I said that if you did Scorpio, if you did not watch this weekend, please go watch it, because I talked about us moving into Scorpio appreciation season, as we look for more authenticity and less shame around things as we move into this, you know, hopefully we're going to have to rebel a little bit. We're going to have some other things go a little topsy-turvy, but as we solidly next November move into Pluto in Aquarius, I think we will also be moving into Scorpio appreciation time. But I think before that, you're going to have some stuff kind of like loosen up and untangle is what I'm seeing. Scorpio, I love you. Now you love you. And I will see you soon. And the extended will be out later this week. All right.